Hello everyone, I hope you all are good. So today in mathematics class 9 we are going to start chapter number 1, that is rational and irrational numbers. In this chapter, in first part we will understand what are rational and irrational numbers. In second part we will learn insertion of rational numbers or irrational numbers and their comparison. Comparison means to arrange them in ascending or descending order or to compare them. In third part, we will prove whether a particular number is rational or irrational by the following methods. In part 4, we will understand surds or radicals and rationalization. So the whole chapter has been divided into 4 videos. So here we are starting with the very first part of the video. So let us start with the introduction of rational and irrational numbers. So first, let us see the number system. The whole number system consists of two types of numbers: imaginary numbers and real numbers. Imaginary numbers, for example, under root of any negative number, say -5 or under root -19 or anything under root -4. All these numbers consist of minus inside the root, so they are imaginary numbers, and we are going to study them in detail in higher classes, not now. For now, we will confine our discussion to only real numbers. Now in real numbers we have two types of numbers. The first one rational and the second one irrational. Symbol of real numbers capital R, symbol of rational numbers capital Q, symbol of irrational numbers Q bar on top. So you should know all these symbols as well. So now, what are rational numbers and irrational numbers? Before we will proceed, rational numbers are further divided into two parts. The first one, integers, and the second, non-integers. Now here integers, as you all know, the complete integer table 0, 1, 2 and so on till infinity, and here also we can proceed till minus of infinity. Non-integers, they include, for example, the fractions, or we can say the decimals 0.8 and so on, or the mixed fractions, right? Now here the symbol for integers are either capital I or Z. Both denotes integers. Now integers are further divided: negative, positive and 0. 0, as you all know, single number. Negative integers minus infinity to -1. And positive integers are 1 to infinity. Also, positive integers are natural numbers. As you can say, natural numbers are starting from 1 to infinity. And if I say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till infinity, they will be whole numbers. So in other words, I can say 0 and positive integers together will form whole numbers. Now here symbols of whole number is W, and for natural number is capital N. So irrational number we will study in detail after a while. First of all, again let us revise number system. Imaginary we are not going to study now. Real number, rational and irrational. Rational number includes all these numbers: integers, non-integers. That means any type of number, whether it is going to be a fraction, decimal, negative, positive, 0, all are going to be a rational number. Alright, so irrational we will proceed after a while. First we will know what are rational numbers. Right, before we proceed, first we should know all the terminologies. Again, for rational number it is Q, for irrational it is Q bar, for real numbers R, for integers I or Z, whole numbers W, and natural number capital N. Okay, now what are rational numbers? As we all know, rational numbers are the numbers which can be expressed in the form of a fraction, where the necessary condition is the denominator should be non-zero and both the numbers should be integers. So, for example, I can say minus 4 upon 5. Minus 4 is an integer, 5 is an integer, and denominator is non-zero. There are so many. So, what about this? Will this be a rational number? No, because the denominator is 0. The necessary condition is denominator should be non-zero. What about a number, say 0.8? What about this? Yes, this can be expressed in the form of fraction and we can simplify by 2, 4 by 5. Now 4 and 5 both are integers, so it is a rational number. Now, very important point, a by b is a rational number only if the denominator is 0. We already know this. A and B are co-prime. Now what do you mean by co-prime? Co-prime means the common factor should be 1. That is, if I write 16 upon 24, it is having a common factor that is 2. See, 2 into 8, 2 into 12. Now also common factor is 2. 2, 4, 2, 6. Again 2, 3. Now 2 by 3 has no common factor other than 1. So now this is a rational number. This is not a rational number, even though denominator is non-zero and it is expressed in the form of a fraction. So I can say 16 by 24 is not a rational number, but 2 by 3 is. Only because 2 by 3, both 2 and 3 are co-prime, that is common factor is 1. 16 and 24 are not co-prime. We have so many common factors, as we can see. So understood? So like I had given the previous example, 0.8. Again 0.8 can be expressed in the form of a fraction where the denominator is non-zero, but 8 and 10 has a common factor that is 2. 4 by 5. So now 4 by 5, 4 and 5 both are co-prime. So 4 by 5 is a rational number. 8 by 10 is not a rational number. So every time you are going to express your answer for rational numbers, you need to check you are not leaving your answer this way. You have to reduce it to the most simplest fraction where the common factors are going to be 1 for both the numerators and denominators. Now the point number 3, B should be positive. A can be anything. Here B is the denominator and A is the numerator. So if I am writing say minus 4 by 5, numerator is negative, denominator is positive, no problem. If I am writing 4 by minus 5, this can be expressed as this. So both are ultimately same things, only the way of writing. This is not wrong, but this way of writing is better. We add signs only in the numerator, never in the denominator. Understand? Now the next important point we had already studied in class 8, that is addition of two rational numbers. Simply we can say addition of two fractions. Will always going to be a fraction, and fraction is going to be a rational number only if you have reduced it in the lowest or simplest form, because we needed this condition to be fulfilled. Coprime means common factor to be 1. No other common factor will work. Again, if we subtract two fractions, answer will again going to be a fraction. So subtraction of two rational number will always going to give me a rational number. Then product of two rational numbers, again it will give me a rational number. Now if I divide two rational numbers, am I going to get a rational number for sure? Just think and answer. It is like if I am dividing some fraction a by b, here I need b to be non-zero. That means this rational number with which we are dividing should be not equal to 0. Getting the point? If the denominator will be 0, the whole fraction will not be a rational number. So division of two rational number will be a rational number only when the denominator is non-zero. Now every rational number can be expressed as terminating or non-terminating. Very simple. 1 by 8 is a rational number. When I divide this, it will give me complete terminating decimal. Terminating means it is ending at 5. That means the remainder is 0 after this. 1 by 25. Completely divisible. That means it is leaving remainder 0 in the end. So the last digit is 4. That is terminating. Now non-terminating means never ending. It will never give you the remainder 0. 3 by 7. If you divide it properly, it is going to be never ending, non-terminating. The decimal points will never stop. Same for this. Now 4 by 9. It is giving me 0.44444 and so on. 11 by 30 is giving me this. Now where the decimal points are repeating also. Here the number 4 is repeating. Here 3 is not repeating, but 6 is repeating continuously. So these type of decimals are known as non-terminating reoccurring decimals. So never ending and repeating decimal places will be non-terminating reoccurring decimals, and terminating means which will end, leaving the remainder 0 in the division. Now exercise 1A of the book, the very first question is 0 a rational number? Think and decide whether 0 can be expressed in the form of a fraction where the denominator is non-zero, and the second condition is both the factors should be co-prime, that is the common factor should be 1. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. 0 is a rational number if I express 0 as 0 by 1. 1 is non-zero, that is denominator is non-zero, and 0 and 1 both are having common factor exactly 1. So co-prime can be expressed in the fractional form. So yes, it is a rational number. Understand? Next question. Without doing actual division, find whether the given fraction is terminating decimal or not. So let's quickly revise what are terminating decimals. Now here we need to check whether the fractions are terminating or not without actual division. So here I cannot divide. Make sure. So how do we do it? The rule is, if I can express the denominator of that fraction as a power of 2 and 5. 2 and 5 can have any power. It can have 0, 1, 2, 3 or so on. So let's say for the symbols m and n, there should be no other base. It should not contain 3 or 7 or any other number as base. Powers can be any. So let's try with some questions. Let us check 7 by 16 is terminating or not. So I need to check only the denominator according to the rule. So if I split 16, it will be 2 to the power 4, and I can write this also, because 5 raised to the power 0 is 1. So it is completely expressed as the powers of 2 and 5. So yes, they are, this decimal is terminating. Let's check this. Again pick up the denominator. 14 can be expressed as 2 into 7. So 2 to the power 1, 7 power 1 and 5 if we want to include. Now here 2 and 5 are there, but extra term is there. So this is non-terminating. Now you can actually divide and see whether they are terminating or not. This will turn out to be non-terminating. Next, let's check this one. 43 by 50. Let us split 50. If the number is big to you, you can split it this way. 50, 25, 5, 1. So here I have 2 to the power 1 and 5 square. 2 and 5 powers? Yes, it is terminating. Now let's check 75. So divided by 3. So in fact I can say directly 75 can be expressed as 3 into 5 square. Here I can add 2, but 3 will remain here. So this is non-terminating. So do you understand? Two ways are there. Either you actually do the division and decide whether the decimals are terminating or not, or otherwise you can use this rule of checking whether the fractions are terminating or non-terminating. Now next very important topic, irrational numbers denoted by the symbol q and a bar on top. The square roots, cube roots, etc. of natural numbers are irrational if their exact values cannot be obtained. For example, suppose if I say under root 4. If I am not writing anything here, that means it is a square root by default. 2. Exact value, so it is going to be a rational number, right? If I write under root 3, square root of 3, it will come in some decimal 1.73 and so on, never ending. So it is going to be an irrational number. Now let us take something else. Cube root of 8. It exists? Yes, it is. Cube root of 8 is 2. But square root of 8, does it exist? No. It will be some decimal number, so this is going to be an irrational number. But cube root, because it is an exact value, so this is a rational number. Now do you understand the difference? Now let us see 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So this is a rational number. Cube root of 9 does not exist in exact integers. So this is going to be irrational numbers. Understand? So we have so many examples: under root 5, under root 7, under root 2 and so on. Since their exact values does not exist, so they are known as irrational numbers. Now the rules of irrational numbers, or the rules of roots, you can say, are different in case of addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. Now let's see how. Suppose if I write under root 3 and under root 5 addition. So in addition I cannot write them as root 8. This is going to be wrong if I add them both. Same way if I subtract, this is never going to be under root 3. But in case of multiplication I can do that. Root 3 into root 5 is going to be under root 15. Here I can combine the root. I have combined it this way. So I had written under root 15. Same way in case of division, I can combine them as single root 3 by 5. So you need to keep this important point in your mind. In addition and subtraction, you cannot add or subtract the numbers. You need to add and subtract the values. Value of root 3 plus value of root 5. Then you can get exact answer in terms of decimal. Second thing, when two irrational numbers are added, answer may or may not be irrational number. For example, if I say 2 under root 2, this is going to be an irrational number because it is having one irrational number with it. If the number is 2 plus under root 4, is it irrational? No, it is not, because ultimately this is 2 plus 2, which is 4, and answer is 4, which is a rational number, or I can directly write the sign Q. Now I want you to check whether under root 48 is irrational or rational. Now how we are going to do it? First we need to simplify this as much as possible. So the main rule is prime factorization. 24, 12, 6, 3, 3. Now this is square root, so these two pairs will come out 4. 2 into 2, 1 2 I'll pick up from here, and 1 2 I'll pick up from here. 2 under root 4 under root 3. Now simplest form of root 48 is this, and since it contains one irrational number with it, so whole is going to be irrational. Is it clear? Next exercise 1b. State whether the following numbers are rational or not. So first we need to simplify them. First we will simplify this a plus b whole square. So identity a square 4, b square root 2 whole square, that means 2, root 2 into root 2 plus 2 into a into b. So 4 plus 2 I can add 6, and this is 2 under root 2. Since the whole expression contains one irrational number in it, so this whole is going to be irrational. Q bar. Now let's check this one. 5 plus root 5, 5 minus root 5. It is following the identity a plus b, a minus b, which is a square minus b square. So here it is 5 square minus root 5 whole square. Right? 5 square 25, and square of this under root is 5. 25 minus 5, 20, which is perfectly a rational number. So the symbol Q. Next, fifth part, 3 upon 2 root 2. Now whole square means square of numerator and square of denominator. square of this will be 4 and square of this will be 2. So 9 by 8. This is also a rational number. Agree? So we need to simplify the given expressions. In the final answer, if we have any irrational number, so the whole thing is going to be irrational. If we do not have any irrational number in the final answer, so it is going to be rational number. Now question number 3, find whether true or false. Now I want you to think properly before you answer. These are the very important and basic concepts of rational and irrational numbers. So let us start with the first one. Under root 2 plus under root 3 is equal to under root 5. It is false. Right now I told you in addition we cannot just add the two numbers. What I need to do is I need to add the values of root 2 and root 3. Then I will get proper answer. Next, check it out, true or false. Directly you cannot say false. First you need to solve this. 2 into the value of root 4 will be 2 plus 2. According to BODMAS, first multiplication, so 2 into 2, 4 plus 2 which is 6. So this is true. Agree? Now check this. 3 root 7 minus 2 root 7 is equal to root 7. Yes, it is true. Why? You can treat them as like terms. Or you can take root 7 common from here. So 3 minus 2 root 7 into 1 root 7. Or you can treat them as like terms. 3x minus 2x will be equal to 1x, where root 7 is x. So this is true. 2 by 7 is an irrational number. False. Straight away it is a rational number. First of all, fractional form, non-zero denominator, and both the numerator and denominator are co-prime. Next, 5 by 11 is a rational number. True. Okay, now next question is question number 4, full-fledged big question. There is a set given. All the numbers of the set are given. We need to pick up rational numbers here, irrational numbers, integers, and non-negative integers. So first of all, I think easiest way is to pick up integers. So first let us write down integers. Minus 6. So let us do side by side. Minus 6 is an integer. Non-negative? No. Irrational? Rational. It will come in the category of rational number also, because it can be expressed as minus 6 by 1. Right? So it is not an irrational number, it is not non-negative. Next one, 5 3 by 4 with a minus sign. So 5 3 by 4 is 23 by 4. I think it will come in this category. Is this an irrational number? No. Integer? No. Non-negative? No. Under root minus under root 4. Minus under root 4, let us simplify it here. This is going to be minus 2, isn't it? Minus as it is, and under root 4 is 2. So now minus 2 is a rational number and integer also. Agree? Now let's come to next. Minus 3 by 5, straight away a rational number. Minus 3 by 8, simply a rational number. 0. Yes, it is a rational number. The very first question we did today. And 0 is an integer. Is it a non-negative integer also? No. Next, 4 by 5 will come in this category. 4 by 5. 1 will definitely come in this category. The column is short. and here. Now 1 is also a non-negative integer. Non-negative integers are positive integers. Now 1 2 by 3 will come here. This is 3 5 by 3. Then under root 8. Exact answer is not possible. So this is irrational under root 8. Now 3.01. It will come in rational category. I hope this is clear. The space is less here. 3.01 because this can be expressed as 301 upon 100. Then pi. Pi is an irrational number because the value of pi 22 by 7 is not an exact value. The actual value is 3.14 and so many decimal numbers are there. So pi is an irrational number. Now the last one is 8.47 will come in rational category. 8.47 is simply 847 by 100. Right. Now first thing I want you to ask, what about 0? 0 we have fixed in rational integers. What about non-negative integers? Non-negative integers means all those integers which are either positive or 0. We had 3 type of integers: positive, negative and 0. 3 type of integers we did in the very beginning today. So here they are asking non-negative integers. So this category if I remove, so 2 types of integers are left in this. Positive I have written, so 0 will come here also. Understand? So I hope with this the first part of the video is clear to you. That is understanding of rational and irrational numbers. Now I hope you can easily identify rational and irrational numbers. Now with this you can start with few questions of 1B and complete exercise 1A of your textbook. Thank you.